Hey everybody, it's yard sale day. So what are you looking for? Maybe I should have a little more tact about this. All right, we've arrived to yard sale number 2 for the day. This is not a purse. You really never know what you're gonna see. So anyway, on to the next. Hey you guys, it has been a little bit since Emily and I have gotten to do a bargain banter. We're super excited for the opportunity to have quality time, to go out to yard sales and just see if we can find treasure. Yeah. All right, so we thought we would take you through the process of actually selecting the yard sales that we go to. This has been a question that we've had a lot. So Emily, do you want to talk about like where we find them?
All right, so the 2 places are Facebook Marketplace and then the Yard Sale Treasure Map app. In the fall and spring, usually there's a ton to choose from. Today, not so much. It's middle of summer. So there are a few, I think 2 community yard sales that I found, but they're both pretty far away. And so that's something that we'll talk about is where we live. There's a lot of options of directions we can go. And so that's something we have to decide on each time, and then deciding on, do we want to risk it for just individual yard sales? Do we want to stick to multifamily yard sales or just shoot for community yard sales?
That was one thing that I was noticing last night. So we'll start looking for listings, but honestly, maybe people do this for security reasons, like not having their address on the internet, you know, for a long period of time. But usually it's like end of the week, sometimes day of, before there are actually listings. So I was looking at them last night and I was just noticing, okay, we're going to have to make a decision here because we really, from where we are, we could go in 3 different directions. And there are yard sales in all directions. So
none of those places close together.
None of them close together. So we have to look and decide, you know, sometimes it's a guess, but there are some tools that we use when we're looking at the listings that we can go ahead and have an indication of this might be a good one or maybe a pass. All right, so which ones did you save? I've saved quite a few, but in multiple different directions.
Yes. Well, I saved the coffee recipe that you made. Yes. There's a community one, but it is pretty far away.
Okay, I don't think I saved that one.
And then there's another one that's close, like kind of close in area to that.
Okay.
I saved this one that they have.
I saved that one.
Those are the 2. Oh no, then I saved this one, the multifamily.
Oh, I didn't see that
one. This one is...
Okay.
It seems like there's some in that, and I think that was on the yard sale treasure map too.
Okay.
Like
I did notice that it seemed like there were quite a few there, and then the area we normally choose.
Right.
Okay. So,
and I feel like that might be too far because those are the places I found community yard sales. So.
Okay. So in addition to that.
Oh, you did find a lot more than I did.
This one is here. When you're looking at a listing, the more details, the better. So if it tells you what types of items they're going to have, if it tells you the address, what date, what time they're going to start, which it seems common sense, but
no,
there are so many times we go to look and really key information is left off. Additionally, pay attention to the date because some people don't take those listings off, and you'll see a garage sale or a yard sale that looks great, and then you get ready to head out and realize it was 2 months ago.
Right.
Or you don't catch it and you show up and nobody's there.
And we've always gone to yard sales in the mornings. That's like typically when they are, but there's been several lately that I've gone to just if I'm out and about on a Saturday and I save them and don't pay attention to the time, get there at like 9 a.m. and they're starting at 1 p.m.
Another thing, and this again seems like common sense, pictures.
Yeah, that's huge.
And you don't find that often because it does take the extra step. Sometimes people don't have their merchandise ready to photograph, but it's very helpful. I was looking at one yesterday and everything was tackle boxes and fishing rods and all of those kinds of things, and they had other things listed, but the only things photographed were the fishing items. And I thought, that might be like the main
Yeah.
the main focus of this sale, so we might not be as interested in that one.
And oftentimes on a Saturday, people will put up those pictures. So we have to look, not just before going to yard sales, but even while we're out, because some people will put up like, hey, here's a picture of our whole driveway filled with, you know, different items. And that helps us gauge like, okay, that might be a good one to go to, or it doesn't really look like they have what we're looking for.
And as always, we've mentioned this before, but if you can aim for neighborhood, community, multifamily, that's always going to give you more. It's like going to a shopping mall versus going to a standalone store.
Morning, how are y'all?
Morning, good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning. Good. How are you? What are these? Oh, they're little pigs.
Those were medium. I would be tempted to get that for Colton pistols of those.
Oh my gosh. What size are they?
Extra large.
Do it for my dad.
Here's something for Wyatt.
Is this a power bank? I think this is a power bank.
Like outdoor things.
All right, so that was super fun.
Unexpected. Completely.
Yes. So, every now and then when we are going to yard sales, we will pass a sign for one that we weren't expecting. And sometimes it's not actually a real yard sale, or it's an old one, and then sometimes it's, you know, a good one. But this was a good one. Emily didn't find anything, but I spent $3.50 and got some good stuff for that. So I'll show you when we get home.
Yeah.
All right, we've arrived to yard sale number 2 for the day. This one actually was on our list. Stitch. There's lots of guys stitched. This is your stuff? Oh, okay. Okay, so I would consider us pretty seasoned yard sale shoppers, and it just goes to show that you are never too old to learn something new. Perhaps the best bargaining tactic of all is just to wait until they are very, very busy. And it just happened organically that the woman we needed to talk to about pricing was busy helping someone else, and so we patiently waited. And so then she called to, I guess, her husband and said, hey, can you take their money? And she looked at my stack of things and said, how about $2? I was anticipating $5 at least. I had 2 big Whole30 cookbooks, a planner, a thing of cookie cutters.
Oh, the little drawing pad.
At least 1 children's book. Anyway, so it was not like I was scheming to make this happen.
But it worked.
But it worked. So so there's your bonus tip.
There you go.
I don't mind looking through clothing bins, but it's hard when all the clothing is in like so many bins. Sometimes that is challenging.
Yeah. Well, and when it's not labeled that I'm looking through.
Right,
like,
right.
What is this? That makes it hard.
And most of it was categorized, but then some of it was like kids' shoes with regular shoes.
Right.
And then I started looking through a bin to look for some baby shoes for my son. And as I'm looking through, this man walked up and he was like, "That's my stuff." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It was just sitting on the sidewalk, so I was looking through it. And I guess I don't know that we've ever seen anybody buy as much as this man had.
No, it was a lot.
A lot. I mean,
Bags.
he just had a whole section of bags and coolers and boxes and a stand-up mirror and all of these things.
Left.
Thank you. So that's what was happening whenever I was waiting to get my price, is she was pricing out all of the things that this man was buying. And so she saw my little stack and just said $2. And
it looked like a whole section of the yard sale.
Yes, and that's why I just was looking through the box. I thought, oh, here's some boys' shoes for Harrison. And it was like, no, that's my stuff. So it is 9:33. We did get a little bit of a later start. I made coffees for us, and then we had to go to the ATM. Emily and I both have been very into the iced coffees using the Nescafe Gold. And you can find so many recipes now with these iced coffees online. In an ideal world, I think that, you know, going to the ATM on Thursday or Friday or getting cash back somewhere would be ideal so that you're ready to go on Saturday. But a lot of times I just forget.
I just don't use cash any other time throughout the week.
Well, and it's funny, a lot of people pay me for music lessons in cash, and then I'll hold on to it to the point where I'm like, this really isn't safe for me to be carrying a large amount of cash. And I sent it with Brandon things to deposit this week, and then I was like, man, do you think there is anything that you have ever purchased at a yard sale that either because of the quality or the price that you paid that you regret purchasing it? No, I'm putting you on the spot. And we can circle back to that question later if you need to think about it.
Maybe I just push those out of my mind and just remember, like, here are the really good ones.
Happy good times.
I can't think of anything. But I feel like maybe part of that is that I very rarely buy anything over $10 at a yard sale. So I think it's like, maybe that's to buffer so I'm not that disappointed.
Right. So if you do buy something that wasn't that great, it wasn't a big loss anyway. The only thing that really comes to mind, long term it hasn't been a regret, but years and years ago we went to a yard sale and there was a blanket, but it has been a really good substantial blanket. But I wanted to bargain for it, and I don't remember what the price was. It was like $15 or $20, which even for a brand new blanket at a yard sale, like, it's a blanket. It's not a full set of bedding. And I wanted to bargain, and we always say with bargaining, like, the worst they can say is no, and just be polite. And so I was polite, and I asked, and she was not exactly polite back. She was not interested in bargaining, and she was very, like, kind of rude. And I bought it anyway. And I remember walking back to the car, and, like, I didn't really feel accomplished. Like, I kind of felt defeated. Like, I got this, but, like, you know, it wasn't like a great experience. But I still have the blanket, and that's probably been like, I don't even know if I was married. It's been a long time. So
that just shows how long we've been yard sailing.
Yes, it's just
since high school.
Yes, it's been a long time.
I don't think I told you this, but when I taught this summer, since it was like a child counseling class, I decided to make kind of a fun, like, get to know the professor. And so I had them do a, it's called Mentimeter, but it's like where they can, it's kind of like Kahoot, where you can, like, scan and have a, like, I'll put questions on the board and they get to choose which one they think is the right answer. And so I did, like, what's my favorite pastime? And it was yard sales.
Oh, that's fun. Did it stump a lot of them?
Yes.
Or did they?
Yeah, they chose, like, baking or golf or whatever I put on there. All right, at the light, you're gonna turn right. Anytime I've had to have, like, a 2 truths and a lie or whatever, or like an interesting fact, inevitably mine ends up being that I play the banjo, because
that feels so foreign to so many people. They're like, what? You bought a banjo? That's so crazy. But yard sales is a good one. Did you say right here?
Yes. Yeah, I saw something the other day that was saying, like, you pick something up thrifting or yard selling and you're like, oh, this is great. Nobody will ever know that I got this thrifting.
I saw that too.
And somebody's like, oh, I love your shirt. Thanks, it's thrifted.
Was it like she tells her husband, like, nobody's ever gonna know, and he's just shaking his head like,
we will.
You're gonna tell everybody.
Yes.
And I will. I will. I'll wear it proudly. But then now it has like rubbed off on my kids to where I'm like, maybe I should have a little more tact about this, because they'll like gift something to somebody and they'll be, you know, I only paid $1 for this. Like, oh, you got that from me, sorry.
That's awesome.
One thing that I got at this last yard sale that I was excited about, I've been really trying to think about gifts more ahead of time. Last summer, I got some planters on clearance from, what kind of bird was that? I don't know. From Walmart. And so they ended up only being a couple dollars a piece. And then I propagated my pothos vine. And so each teacher got a little pothos plant. So at this yard sale, they had this really cute, like, gingerbread house packaging, and in it were these gold and white cookie cutters that are Christmas cookie cutters. They had an open box, and honestly, I should have grabbed them both at the rate their prices were. But anyway, I'm going to use those and tie them on as like a gift topper for my teacher gifts this year. One thing I mentioned in one of my last YouTube videos, I was talking about making my recipe binder, and I need some more page protectors. And I was talking about like what success we've had at finding office supplies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's something that people don't always think of. It's usually like clothes and toys and house stuff.
Yeah.
But we've had pretty good luck in that department too.
That is not one, but we can look up. 11 to 12 daily? No,
Yard
11
sale,
to 12 of
11 to 12
July.
July. Okay, here's another question. Is there anything that you have sort of a boundary, like maybe hygiene-wise or anything, that you would not purchase at a yard sale?
Oh, this road. Okay, I was like,
see it, yeah.
I will, like, I don't do any kind of cosmetics. Like, that's often something that's at yard sales. I don't do anything like that. Anything else with hygiene? I think it's more of like, if something looks very used, I'm not gonna do that. But
I'm not gonna buy undergarments. But now I have sometimes bought, like, for my kids if they're in good shape. So I think it really just depends.
Yeah, I might do like a sports bra. I don't know, for whatever reason that feels different to me. It's like, as I'm saying it, it's not different, but that feels different to me.
It does though. It does somehow feel different.
But it's only certain things. Like here, turn on this road. We went to Goodwill when we were on vacation in Florida, and I found an Under Armour sports bra that's like my favorite one that I have. And it's, you know, if I go and buy it for new, it's very expensive, which is why I haven't bought another one. And so, like, because of that, like, this is something that I'm looking for. It's not just anything. It's like, this is something that I'm looking for, and it's good quality. Now, I will wash it before I wear it.
Sure. I've mentioned before, but if something has a sour smell to it, I have a really hard time getting that odor out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the smell of it is...
But the nice thing is, like, you can usually, like, clock that right away at a yard sale. If something has any type of strong odor, you're probably gonna get that with everything.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, we just arrived to, what, third of the day?
Yeah, another unexpected
third sale of the day, not on our list. All right, got 2 cars for my son, or a car and a monster truck. It's funny that we were just talking about odors and the role that they play. I found a set of, like, the complete set of Harry Potter books. It's all sticky around the edge, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, it was like in almost like a suitcase. And I thought that that would be a really cool gift for my nieces. But as soon as I opened the box, there was just this odor. And you know, with pages of books, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And then you said clothes are kind of the same.
And I couldn't tell, is it just like part of it was in the garage? Is it the garage that has an odor, or the clothes? But especially something like that, like that's just, it can be hard to get out.
Yeah. So anyway, on to the next. Today has been a day of seeing signs that we weren't expecting. We also just saw a sign that said purse sale, and it was tents with purses hanging out, which was not of interest to either of us.
No. Is that a hearse?
I don't think that was quite a hearse. It was like,
It's like a funeral car.
I don't know. It had like 3.
Did you see what the flags were?
No.
It said funeral.
Did it? Maybe they're an employee for the funeral.
I would turn left.
I would think you wouldn't drive that vehicle home.
Right. That would be scary for all the papers.
Interesting. You really never know what you're gonna see on any day, but especially on a yard sale day. But this doesn't look.
This is not much.
I don't even think we'll get out if you're good with that.
No, I'm fine with that. There's like kids,
Like they put this together themselves.
Yeah.
I think this is an interesting thing. You know, if you are having a yard sale and your kids are in charge, depending on their age, do you help them with it, or do you just let them do it completely on their own?
Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
there's
it's,
pros and cons to both.
there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
But that definitely looked like maybe a little bit of help would have been nice.
So what are you looking for today? I know you said shoes for Garrison.
Good question. Honestly, shoes for all the kids. My daughter's pretty well set, but both of my boys could use shoes. And actually, this feels so funny, but I don't know that I have ever bought my kids brand new shoes. My oldest is 9, and we just shop secondhand so much that I've either found them at yard sales or thrift stores or a consignment store, or we've gotten hand-me-downs. And I think we went shopping one time for new tennis shoes, and I don't think we ended up buying them.
They outgrow them so fast.
They do outgrow them so fast. But I told my husband, I said, I think I really would like to set that aside. It's not that much. To get them each a nice pair of tennis shoes for the beginning of school. So I'm planning on like making it a whole thing, taking them to lunch, and then taking them shoe shopping and letting them go and like try on and pick out a real new pair of tennis shoes. Because we always did that for back to school. My mom would take us and we would get like our first day of school outfit and a new pair of shoes. And I don't think I'm robbing my kids of a wonderful childhood or anything, but we just don't, we don't do that. We, you know, and I don't think we also got a new book bag or lunchbox every year. I think it just depended. That's another thing that Abram needs, is a new book bag. He needed one last year, and we just kind of limped along and made do. The little black things where the straps go through and you adjust them, one of them has been broken, and he has used like a chip clip like for a long time. And so I'm probably, unless I find one, he will probably also be getting a brand new book bag.
Well, and I think because you shop secondhand, it makes those experiences much more exciting and you know, like this adventure.
And also because we shop secondhand, they're used to it. So I don't think they really feel, you know, as they're getting older, you know, they are starting, especially my son is starting to want certain things, certain brands, whatever. But I have been able to show them the comparison of the cost of new versus used. And so they see the value in that. And so I think most of the time they kind of get it. So new shoes, a book bag. And then I'm looking for, this is very specific, I'm looking for an alarm clock. I would especially like the hatch alarm clock where the light slowly comes on.
There's a garage sale sign. That's different.
That is different. Okay. It's pretty big. Okay. We'll circle back.
But we can honestly go in this one first if you want. Yeah.
Is this the one?
This is a different one. This is the one we were gonna go to, but we'll have to go back by that one
Right.
anyways.
This was the original destination. Okay.
I have an Amazon kind of knockoff of the hatch, and I really like it.
Does it light up like that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I might want you to send me the link for that.
In the summer, it doesn't really make a difference because it's light when I'm waking up. But when it is dark outside in the winter, it makes such a huge difference.
My whole life, I've never been good at waking up early. I'm also not someone who sleeps incredibly late.
Yeah.
But I have an idea of how I want my morning routine to go. And the biggest hurdle is that I don't get up early enough to make that happen.
Yeah. That makes a huge difference for me. Like the days that I get up early and I'm able to do kind of my routine, especially before I go into the office, like that impacts the rest of my day. And if I don't get that, I feel like I'm off all day. And like, not that, I mean, I can choose how I'm gonna engage in my day after that. It's not like I'm just not making the most of it. But I can tell that it makes a big difference.
So what are you looking for?
I am looking for a toboggan, very random, but since we're going to Alaska, looking for toboggan, and I can't really find it in any of the stores. I need to go potentially to Academy, but it's very hot here, so I need a toboggan.
Do you have a vision of what it's gonna, like what your ideal toboggan would look like?
Well, I have one that I really, really like, but there's a huge pom-pom on it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, but not quite the look I'm going for. So I would love for it to be, I really like, the one I have is like a tan, like neutral color. I really like that. But I would just like to have one without the big pom-pom.
Yeah. The one you have has a pom-pom?
Yeah.
Have you looked to see if you can take it off?
No, I haven't looked. I might need to just do that.
Different ones are constructed different ways, but I thrifted one a while back. And I actually, when I washed it, I singed the pom-pom in the dryer. And it was just stitched on. And I took it off, and structurally, you know, you can't tell.
I need to look at that.
All right. Yard sale number 4, 5. I've lost count. Have you done those weighted hula hoops before? I feel like they are painful on your like hips, on your midsection.
Maybe that's why they're selling it.
Maybe it is. Like, it's a good concept, but the little like divots in them, I think it hurts.
This looks promising.
This does. We'll see. What have you bought today? One thing?
The 2026 calendar that we're halfway through the year.
So it's almost 11. We just went to an indoor moving sale, which we don't often do.
But there were pictures up of this
There were pictures up of this one. The house can be seen from the road. It's in a neighborhood.
That's where we've gone wrong before.
Yeah, we've gone to a situation one time where it was not deserted, but just very out.
It was really
itself.
remote.
Yes, remote. That's the word I was looking for. Remote location. You know, if it doesn't feel good to you, don't stop. Yeah, basically. So anytime we go, I like to keep a tally, and Emily does too, of what we spend. What did I say? That I spent $17 today?
Yeah.
So you guys know, if you've watched our bargain banters before, that we'll get home and we'll lay everything out and kind of tell you. But like, just to put it into perspective, I have a bag full of stuff in the bag. Stuff that my kids will enjoy, things that I can use functionally around the house. I spent $17 today.
And I have a bag of less stuff. But still things that I will use, and I've spent $3.50.
Right, and just to put it into perspective, like, she spent $3.50 and got a dress.
Yeah.
There's nowhere you could go and buy a brand new dress for $3.50. One of the things I got was a set of 10-pound dumbbells.
You got them for $2.
I got them for $2.
Yeah.
But looking at my total spent, $17, I don't even know if I could get a set of two 10-pound dumbbells for $17.
Well, I think like even our perception, at least for me, like my perception of thrifting and yard sales has changed as I grew up, because when I was little, I thought of it as like I didn't like yard selling because it made me feel like we were having to do it, but you know, because we didn't have the money to go and buy things, or it just made me feel like less than when I would buy something that was thrifted or wear something that was thrifted, turn left,
Right.
and now like my perspective has changed so much of like, I could go to a store, like I work really hard and I save, and like I could go to a store, but like I don't want to do that. Like I could,
Right.
I feel like I'm a better steward of my money if I am able to thrift and yard sale, like not for everything, but for some things, and it gives me the opportunity to save more or use that money to go towards something else. So I feel like my perspective has shifted so much.
Right. I think I told you my kids were wanting a large ticket item recently, and they were using their own money to save up for it. And brand new, it was $400.
Yeah.
And so when you're a kid, I mean, $400 is a lot of money to me, but when you're a kid, that is so much money. And so I told them we could look on Facebook Marketplace. And once they saw they could find that same thing for literally half the price, they were like, oh, well, let's do that.
Right.
And they ended up doing that, and it worked out great. And now they're able to see the value of 200 versus 400 for the same thing, just to have it be gently used. We just passed an estate sale sign, and it was 3 days. Personally, we just don't feel like it's worth our time to go to something that's on the second day.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure, you know, you sometimes will find things, but...
Hey you guys, so we are back. We've got everything laid out on the bed. Feelings about this trip? Unexpectedly successful. I think we went out knowing like, there's not really much. It's middle of summer, really hot, but we found some things we weren't expecting. Yeah, true to form, I have a lot more things than Emily, but we have talked about when you have kids, you know, most of the stuff on the bed really is for the kids. So we'll show you that.
All right, so the first thing that I got, I only spent $2.50 on this whole trip and got 5 different items. The first thing was a 2026 planner. I usually would not get this when we're halfway through the year, but I love the look of this planner, and it's a little bit different than the planner that I have. It has just the week rather than day by day. It has the week and notes and things to do. And I actually think my husband and I are going to use this for our kind of weekly meetings where we sit down and plan out, okay, what are the things going on this week? What are the things we need to do? It also has like habit tracker and writing down things you're grateful for and things you achieve. So I just think it'll be hopefully helpful to put some structure to those meetings a little bit. And I paid 50 cents for that. So it felt like worth the risk of, if this doesn't work, I'm only out 50 cents. And then the next stop we went to, I found this pot. I'm trying to get a collection of pots so that I can propagate my pothos plant and then give those as gifts. And I asked her, she said $1 for that. And I tried to bargain for 50 cents. She said they're trying not to do coins, but if I wanted to add something else to the pot, then she would be fine with that. So I actually found these magnetic clips. I wasn't initially going to get these, but I saw those and realized I could actually use those. So I got the pot and the 2 sets of magnetic clips together for $1. And then the last thing I got was at an indoor moving sale. I found this dress for, I bargained for $1 for that. So there's a tiny little stain on it that I think I can get out, but overall it looks like the dress is in pretty good condition. So all of those items together were $2.50.
I love it. I love everything. I think that dress is going to look so great on you. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to refer to my list, and I'm going to go in order of stops from first to last. So the total that I spent was $17. And like I said, it just helps me to see everything all laid out, to see, you know, these were the items that I got. And
to say that, you know, all of this was $17, it really is such a great bargain, especially when you start to break it down. All right, so at my first stop, I got these 3 books. I got this little set of roller skates that fits like an American Girl doll or a My Generation, Our Generation, you know, those style of dolls. And then I got this set of dumbbells. This was what I was telling you about in the car. So these were $2. These were 50 cents, and then they gave me all of these books for $1. So this stop was $3.50. I got this one with my youngest in mind. It's got just a little bit of sticker residue here, and I think I would be able to get that off. But it's such a fun little book because it's got food where it uses, like you can see the crocodile, it's got little pizza slices. I just think that it's really cute. So I got this book for my youngest. I got this book for my middle because it's kind of on her reading level. And then I got this one because we do have several Dr. Seuss books, but we don't have this one, so I'm going to add that to the collection. I think the next stop was this grouping of things here. This was when we told you that the yard sale operator was kind of distracted, and so she just set everything for $2. I'm not currently on Whole30, but we are kind of trying to work on some diet things I mentioned in our last video. So I got these 2 Whole30 cookbooks. I thought that they would be really nice to have. When I was on Whole30 before, I checked one of these out from the library. And of course, you know, with a cookbook, you have to return it back. So a little bit of residue here. Again, nothing that I don't think, I think I can wipe that off and it will be just fine. So I wonder if it says how much these retail for. Yeah, this is a $30 cookbook. And this one is also $30. Some more residue there, but again, a cookbook's going to get stuff on it, and I think we can clean that off. So 2 Whole30 cookbooks. I also got a planner. This is the same setup as Emily's. It is just a little bit of a different pattern. But I'm excited to have that. I do have Hillary's planner from Old World Home, and it's more of like a seasonal rhythms planner, but I thought I could also use one that does daily or weekly. So I got that. I got another one of these drawing tablets where you use the stylus. Our styluses tend to kind of walk away, so I thought that my daughter would enjoy that. And then I got a Mario book, again, kind of on my daughter's reading level, but I think my son will enjoy that as well. The last thing that I got was this set of cookie cutters. This I mentioned in the car. The packaging is just adorable, but inside they are small enough that I can tie them to a jar of some cookie mix or something like that, and this will be a really nice teacher's gift. So I will just put this away and I'll pull this back out in December. So this whole stop was $2. The next stop was I got these 2 cars for my son. I paid 50 cents for them together, so $0.25 a piece. This stop I got a gift for, I think will be my nieces, so if they're watching this video, hey, I got you a gift. It was barely used. There was like one piece of felt that had been cut, the yellow piece, and I think I can just cut that part off and it will still be usable. I got this big tub of air dry clay for $1, and it's still in really good shape, and so I think that this will be just a creative opportunity for my kids, especially as we're, you know, still in summertime, just homeschooling in general. I got 2 glass soap dispensers. I'm going to definitely use one of these in the kitchen because we have like gold brass hardware in the kitchen. And then these were freebies, so I got these for my daughter. That whole stop was $4. And then the last stop was $7. I got this pair of universal thread pants for myself. They're like an army green, they're wide leg, kind of like a cargo pant, but they're wide leg. I got these Hey Dudes for my son. He had this exact pair, maybe in the next size down. So I think that I can clean these up and he can still get some life out of them. This book is such a treasure. It's got so much knowledge and it's about North Carolina. So each page has facts about North Carolina. The images are beautiful. I was looking especially at the page about the Biltmore estate by the Vanderbilts, the Vanderbilt
family built the Biltmore estate, and I just think that that's so pretty. So such a beautiful book. This book was, you know, an $18 book, and like I said, this stop was $7 total. The other books that I got for my children there were all animal related. This one is on sharks. We have one on wolves, beetles, and mammals. So I think these will be really great for a hot afternoon or just a rainy day at home. So that's it. There are all of our finds for today.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming along with our yard sale journey today. If you have any questions about yard sales or secondhand shopping, leave those in the comments below. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Hopefully we'll get a couple more bargain banter videos in before the year is up. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.